And look at verse 65. John chapter 6 and verse 65. And he said, therefore I have said to you that no one can come to me unless it is being granted to him by my Father. What do we find here? We find John's doctrine of election. We come to God because God has chosen us to come to him. And other places we explain that you can't automatically turn around and say that those who reject God are those whom God has chosen not to accept. You can't use human logic here. If you are saved because you are chosen. If you are lost because you have rejected. That doesn't logically work together with our human way of thinking. But it's a very important doctrine, the doctrine of election. Because it shows that salvation is totally of God, and it shows the sheer grace and love of God, that it is only God's love that can draw us to him. And so Jesus insists that it is the Father who gives him disciples. Verse 37. All that the Father gives me will come to me, and the one who comes to me I will by no means cast out. All that the Father gives to me will come to me. So even those that come, they don't come of their own accord. They come because they have been given to the Son by the Father. And everyone who comes will be received. It's the Father who draws people. Verse 44. No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him. It's the Father who enables them to come. Verse 65. Therefore I've said to you that no one can come to me unless it has been granted to him by my Father. Oh yes, we have to come. We have to choose. We have to follow. But we can't do this unless the Father enables us. And I believe it was Charles Spurgeon who put this way, because it's so difficult to understand. And he said, I tell you what it's like this. As you enter heaven, you see outside on the door saying, whosoever will may come. And when you go through that door, have a look what it says on the inside. It says, chosen from the foundation of the world. This is not a hard, harsh doctrine. It only appears that way because some who've championed it, and they're called Calvinists, some who've championed it have pushed it to such an extreme that all you get is election, election, election. Where does man's free will fit in? And others, perhaps, who have championed man's free will have stressed free will to such a point that God is helpless at this point, and he can't save you without your cooperation. Now, I know that we work together with God in so many ways, but in terms of salvation, we don't work together with God. We're saved totally by the grace of God, God's work for us. And so my solution to this is to hold both these things in tension and to stand together to say, yes, I know I have to choose Jesus of my own choice, my own free will. I must say yes to him. But then I acknowledge that having exercised my choice, I have nothing to boast about, that my choice of him depends on his prior choice of me.